So the final update for Marvel's Avengers just went live yesterday, and I'm going to cover the final patch notes for this game. So if you enjoyed this video today, feel free to like and subscribe for future Marvel content. I will leave the link to the patch notes in the description. I'm really only going to go over the stuff that matters because obviously a lot of it is just bug fixes. So these two videos, they're both nice, sweet videos. The first video is kind of a thank you video from the Miss Marvel voice actor Sandra, and then this video is kind of just an overall thank you from the game devs and just kind of recapping everything that the community has been through since the game's launch. So now we'll get into the features and stuff added in this update, which obviously is not a lot. So the main thing that it's saying here with new features is the entire marketplace has been unlocked. So there is no more marketplace, and everything that was in the marketplace has been placed into everybody's respective inventories. The shipment system and the hero challenge card system have both been scrapped, and anything that you would get from a reward from either hero challenge cards or shipments have just been automatically added to your inventory as well. And then on top of that, they gave you basically a Iron Man War Machine outfit, which also I know a lot of people have been saying that kind of more or less confirms that War Machine was on the way at one point, unfortunately. But as long as you have earned a trophy before the update has came out, then you'll be able to receive that outfit. So it won't be available for new players who pick up the game, which I mean, you know, kind of sucks, but it also makes sense because it's just a way of rewarding players who have been here at least in some capacity this whole time before the game shut down. And then, of course, something that they've already covered before, so there is a conversion system for credit balances into units, fragments, upgrade modules, polycoron, and then DNA keys. So this is the chart right here. Again, I'll leave the link in the description so you can look at the chart to see how much, what kind of rewards you were supposed to get if you had any credit balance on your account. And then any Heroes Catalysts or Fragment Extractors, which are the multipliers that give you extra XP or extra fragments for a certain amount of time, have all been permanently removed as well, but they've placed a 1.5 times multiplier on XP and fragments permanently, that's literally what those would do anyway, so that's a totally fair exchange, and that's fine. They said there will be a small hot fix, which is, you know, just like another patch to fix one final bug that's going to go live on April 4th, which they listed down below, which I'll also go over. So reassemble campaign and Avenger initiative. There's not really anything to a lot of these are just going to be bugs. Like I said, I'm going to go over the things that I find to be more important and stuff like that. So I'm going to go down combat. I don't think there's anything combat. Yeah, the combat is just a lot of bug fixes. Like I said, feel free to go over those. And then the gear challenges and rewards is the big bulk of the good stuff that was added. So end game mission rewards, both OLTs and raids. Superior gear can now be obtained from every completion, not just the weekly rotation. Family reunion and both versions of the Discordant Sound raid now grant up to power level 165 gear. And then events and cloning lab now both provide a path to power level 175 gear. So this is honestly one of the bigger deals to me, because before the bi-weekly events didn't give you superior gear to get to 185, but now it looks like it does. So this gives a way for players, you know, let's say someone picks up the game years down the road, and nobody is playing it online anymore. That means they can still get to power level 185 if they just grind enough, so I definitely enjoy that change. And then gear upgrading, power level 165 to 175. Oh, I should also say, obviously, you know, it's good for the raid and stuff like that you can get upgraded power level each time that you run it through. Obviously, that's a great change as well. So now, as far as the gear upgrading goes, resources required to bring a piece of gear from the old power level cap to the new power level cap has been reduced, and upgrade module cost is now capped at 150 per upgrade within this range. Dismantling exotic gear returns 100 upgrade modules, and 50 are returned from legendary gear. So basically, they reduced the amount of resources that is needed to upgrade gear, while increasing the amount of upgrade modules that you get from dismantling gear. That's just obviously a good change, because now it should make upgrading your pieces of gear a decent amount easier, so that's going to be nice. Gear, nanite charges from cloning lab. Gear now applies status damage via heavy melee attacks. Status buildup has been increased, so that is a good change. I think that's going to make the nanite builds more viable if that's how you want to go. Cooldowns reduced for major artifact active effects, that's really good as well. And then exotic artifact stat scaling improved. So all of this, these right here are like the main really good changes that they added. User interface, this should all just be bug fixes. Art and animation, this should all just be bug fixes that you can go over. And then known issues and workarounds. So faction terminal missions and assignments will not be completable from 12 p.m. UTC to 5 p.m. local time. This will be fixed in an upcoming patch hotfix 2.8.1, which launches April 4th. So that's the thing that they're going to fix with the April 4th patch. Now, like I said, in terms of bugs, you can go over the majority of the bugs yourself, but I think the most important bug that was fixed was the invisibility bug right here. So we fixed an issue with heroes and invisibility where completing a takedown would enable enemy attacks on the player while the invisibility effect was active, and then that's not how invisibility works. Yeah, you don't say. But they fixed the invisibility bug, so now invisibility theoretically should work the way it's supposed to. Now, there are some things that they don't list in the patch notes that they did change as well, and a majority of it has to deal with huge intrinsic buffs. So the intrinsic buffs involve fast flying mostly, so like any character that can fast fly, Iron Man, Thor, Jane Foster, they now can do it infinitely. Fast flying does not take up any intrinsic whatsoever. Captain America, when he's running with his shield up, which is kind of like the fast way to run, that you can now do infinitely. That doesn't take any intrinsic. Black Panther in general seems like he's a little bit faster, so like just the way he runs and stuff like that, so that's good. And then, like I said, still in terms of intrinsic, Kate Bishop's teleport intrinsic, you can do a lot more. Like, I think before, you could only do 3 to 4 teleports with Kate Bishop before your intrinsic was completely drained. Now it's, I believe, 8. I think I tested it out, and it's like 8 teleports in a row you can do before her intrinsic is completely drained. And then Iron Man's intrinsic lasts incredibly longer in comparison to how it was before. Like, you can hold the laser down for, like, I don't know, I would say a solid 20 to 30 seconds before his intrinsic runs out. So I feel like Iron Man got a huge buff in terms of his intrinsic. So it's going to make Iron Man, honestly, a lot better than he was before, and he wasn't even bad before. But that wraps it up for all of the patch notes for the final patch for Marvel's Avengers. This probably isn't going to be my final video on it. I'm probably going to do one more video detailing kind of my final thoughts on the game and stuff like that, and then I'm gonna make some final build videos with everybody at power level 185 as well. But comment down below how you feel this final patch was for Marvel's Avengers, and if you enjoyed this video today, feel free to like and subscribe for future Marvel content, and I appreciate you for watching the video.